Good morning. Welcome into our weekly feature. It's called Your Life Matters with clinical social worker Dr. Beth Plachetka from Safe Harbor Counseling and Dr. Beth Speaks. And Dr. Beth joins us via the phone lines again as we welcome her into another program. Dr. Beth, good morning to you.
Hey, Mike. How are you?
Doing all right. How are things with you?
They're as good as they can be, and I'm glad about that.
That's good. Good to hear. Good to have you back on as we focus on another kind of a multi-part series on a particular topic. As these next few weeks we'll be focusing on relationships.
Right. You know, Valentine's Day is coming in February, and obviously relationships are a year-long thing that we can talk about and are important to us all the time. So it seemed like a good time to kind of touch base again. And I have to say, I think a lot of times that's an issue that brings people, either individuals like working on themselves or on their, like marriage counseling or even parenting. The relationship aspects bring them into therapy. So it felt like something our listeners might like to know about. And, I love watching romance movies. I'm sure you do too, Mike. I'm just positive you just sit around doing that all the time. But
I'm watching one right now as we tape this.
It's good that you can do that. But they make it look so easy, right? Everything just flows, and there's a quip and a look and whatever. And the truth is, superficially, everything's easy. If you look on the web, it'll say, here's how you have a good relationship. Have fun. Prioritize your partner. Disagree respectfully. Things like that. Don't forget her birthday or his birthday. But there's this underlying the foundational piece that we really need to look at. There's these skills that are challenges if we don't. So in this three-part series, there's 9 that I'm looking at. The first 3 are today. And today we're talking about expectations and assumptions, communication styles, and self-awareness and self-knowledge. Now, the expectations and assumptions are like the water we swim in. We come thinking that everybody thinks like us because that's our experience. And so when you first get married or first have a new friend or, start parenting, start a new project together as a family, you assume somebody's going to do it just the way you expect without thinking about it. We need to think about those things and talk. And that talking leads us to the communication styles. What are just different styles and which ones do we use most? Often people, while we're aiming for assertive, we become aggressive or passive, or sometimes we flip back and forth. Sometimes we even manipulate, like we try to get you to say what we want you to say, so it looks like it was your idea in case it didn't turn out. But we want to be thinking, the nicest, the most kind way of communicating is to be clear and direct so somebody can say yes or no. And that's assertive. Aggressive means you're getting angry, and passive means, well, I don't care, dear. What do you want? In which case, nobody ever decides anything.
Yeah,
and then the last one for today. Oh, and were you going to say something?
Well, I was going to say, with all these different kinds, it's kind of a fine line between, these styles could be the difference between having a productive and good and solid relationship or not if you're kind of stuck in some of these styles that are hindering you.
Right. I mean, if somebody says, what would you like for dinner, or if you feel like having hamburger, you say, let's have hamburgers, that's easy. Yes, we can, we've got hamburgers, or no, let's have it tomorrow after we buy some. But if you're guessing or angry about it, now you have a fight over something simple like dinner. And that's where self-awareness and self-knowledge come in. Do we know how we sound? I do know that when I'm on a roll, I personally can make it sound like I've already decided and there is no question. That is not how I mean it. That is how I sound. So I have to preface that like, okay, how about this idea or whatever? We need to know what we're doing, what we're bringing to the arrangement or the relationship, and what we really want. And what are our habits? Are we early risers, stay up late? What do we need? What do we need in a relationship or in a home? And if we can't articulate those things, we run into a lot of issues. So that's why it's important to take a look at those things so we can be intentional and stay in a committed relationship.
We'll be looking forward to all of this information unfolding over these next couple of weeks as we unveil this 3-part series looking at relationships. All right, sounds good. You can find out more information about all of the things we've covered today at safeharboril.com. You can contact Safe Harbor Counseling via the phone at 630-466-8657. Safe Harbor and Dr. Beth also have Facebook pages. Check it out. And on the website, too, safeharboril.com, you can listen to recordings of this segment and get all kinds of additional resources on these topics. We'll talk to you again next week.